Hi, so today I'm going to talk about why the carnivore diet may not be for everybody. I certainly think that most people can benefit from the carnivore diet. I don't think it's for everyone. I do think for me, though, based on my own experience, it's been super helpful and can be super helpful for other people. But based on my own experience and based on other people's experiences, I don't think the carnivore diet is actually for everybody, and I am going to explain why. So, the carnivore diet is basically eating meat, eggs, butter, cheese, any rudimentary meat, even seafood, anything with high animal protein intake and barely to no sugar. I would say maybe 30 grams of sugar per day, 40 grams to sugar max for the carnivore diet. But that's pretty much it, right? So I've been doing that correctly for the past year. Before I wasn't doing that correctly, and that came with a plethora of issues in my stomach. And it was due to eating too much sugar and too much fat at the same time. I have done it right to the T. It's helped with my microbiome issues. It's healed my stomach, 80% of it. There's still a little bit more to go, but it's really helped my stomach just become better in terms of digesting and not getting sick a lot anymore. And so it's helped me a lot tremendously, and I'm still doing it. I've just tweaked some things here and there. And I think some people can tweak some things here and there too if they're on the carnivore diet. And I'm going to explain why. So I have a couple of friends who are plant-based and they feel amazing. You know, like my friend, she feels amazing on the plant-based diet. And she says, like, when I eat meat, I feel nauseous. That's what she tells me. She feels nauseous when she eats meat. And in my mind, I'm thinking maybe she's not used to it. And that could be true, but maybe she's tried eating meat enough times that she just can't do it. And so she feels like she can thrive on plant-based and sometimes eat shrimp, sometimes eat salmon, sometimes eat eggs, or butter, however she feels. So sometimes she's plant-based, sometimes she's just vegetarian. So she changes it up based on how her body's reacting to the food. And I think that's the way to go. I think you should give it, a good amount of time for each kind of diet to see how it's really affecting you, just to see how it is in the long run, just in case, But she feels great, and obviously she's taking supplements because, you gotta take supplements on the plant-based diet for sure. And she feels great. I have two people that I met who were employees that I used to work with at Air One, and two of them are plant-based, and the customer that I met there was plant-based as well. And Air One, I don't know if you guys know Air One, but it is a fancy grocery store in Santa Monica, used to be in Palisades, and in Venice, California. It's amazing. It's very expensive, but it's so worth it if you're into like luxurious organic foods or $20 smoothies. It's always fun to go there and people watch. It's very fancy. You should check it out. Anyway, so I spoke to them about their diets and they feel great. They're taking the supplements though. They have a lot of hair. They look great. Like they're not too skinny. They have a nice build, all three of them. So that's one group of people that feel great being plant-based, and another group of people that I personally know can eat whatever they want out and about and not feel anything, like they can go out and get takeout at any restaurant and not look at like for seed oils or grass-fed meat or, cheese in their meat and their sandwich. Like they're fine with anything gluten or whatever. And so I really do think and now this is from a biblical perspective, I do think it's because of the post-flood that happened on the earth, and because we don't have the tree of life anymore, that our genes are degraded, right? Some of us have better genes than others, so we react differently to foods, better or worse than others. And because of the flood, post-flood, we just have less nutrients in the soil. We have less oxygen in the air. There used to be a layer of oxygen, an extra layer of oxygen that encompassed the whole world. And so I think because of those reasons, everyone is reacting better or worse to certain kinds of foods. And based on what I've seen, like in the studies in regards to like microbiome issues, to schizophrenia, to mental issues, to neurological issues, to immune issues, right? Your immune system, like a lot of people on those with those conditions will really benefit on I was gonna say plant-based, no plant-based, carnivore diet. They would really benefit on a carnivore diet, as well as people who want to lose weight, get rid of their acne. I know for me, it helped me with my microbiome. It helped me reset a lot of things in my body. I know my mom benefited from it. She did it for quite a while. She stopped and now she's back to just eating normal, meaning she has, pastries here and there, and, she adds more sugar into her diet, more fruit. But she did lose weight on a carnivore diet and she felt better. So I think the carnivore diet can benefit for most people, except my other friend who gets nauseous for meat. That's probably like the 1% of people. But I do think if you want to reset your body, if you want to feel better, have more energy, lose weight, cure, well, I shouldn't say cure, but support your microbiome, support your immune system, help the neurological issues that you have in your brain, I would say go the route of carnivore as much as you can do, the best that you can, right? And so that's my take on it based on what people have told me, what I've seen with myself. And let me see if I'm missing anything, guys, because I did write this up. So one more thing, I do think some people need carbs. Like I need carbs. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm pretty skinny, okay? And I'm naturally skinny. I've been like this since I was a kid. I still have my high school clothes, okay? And I'm 31, all right? And I still save them because they fit me perfectly still from high school. So I have stayed the same forever. So when I went carnivore, I lost more weight than I should, and I was already underweight. So I needed to add back some kind of sugar that will help me, that will stimulate my stomach to eat more, stimulate my metabolism to eat more. Because now I've been weightlifting and I'm like, well, if I'm gonna weightlift and I'm gonna eat super healthy, just eating meat all day, I need something that's gonna make me wanna eat more. Because meat, when you eat like a good amount of meat, you can eat 1 or 2 meals a day and feel full for the rest of the day, as long as it's fatty, So that was my predicament. I need carbs. If you're an athlete, you need a little bit of carbs to stimulate yourself to eat more, because you need to feed your muscles. And I need to feed my muscles and I need to gain weight just to be healthy. So I think for me, because I know my weight affects my hormones, I know that if I maintain my weight, my hormones are happy, and I feel better. Anyway, I do think it's a tool. I think most people can benefit from being carnivore. I just think you need to, change it up a little bit here and there, just tweak some things like I did. Like I think most people could benefit from eating a carnivore diet and adding sugar, like from fruits, or having honey. Like 30 to 40 grams of sugar per day is good to aim for, and not go past that. But if you're exercising like I am, like doing strength training, which is very hard strength training, like 1 hour to 1 hour and a half, like 4 times a week, I go to 50 to 60 grams of sugar per day because I have a fast metabolism. I need to eat more. It stimulates me to eat more, and I need a little bit of insulation. And if you understand how the carnivore diet works, the fuel that your body uses is now fat. It's not sugar. So you don't gain weight when you're on the carnivore diet, believe it or not, even though you're intaking so much fat. So that's my 2 cents. That's my own testimonial on how my body reacted to the carnivore diet and what I've seen in other people and how they see how diets affect them. So I hope this was helpful. I would suggest looking into YouTubers like Lillian Kane. She was a carnivore eater, like full-blown carnivore eater, followed Dr. Ken Berry all the way through. And even Dr. Paul Saladino, he was carnivore all the way through as well, like promoted it heavily. And he still advocates, both of them advocate for that carnivore lifestyle, but they did a lot of tweaks here and there. And both of them have stated, and just like I have in the past, that when I went carnivore, it helped my microbiome. But then I wasn't taking electrolytes at the time. I started to, lose a lot of weight. Not good for me in particular because I'm already skinny, but I had muscle cramps in like my legs, my calves, in my feet. I had eye twitching. My eyes started to water for no reason, like to the point where it felt like sand was in my eyes. I just felt tired, lethargic. And then when I added electrolytes into my diet, that's when a lot of the symptoms went away. But also when I started to intake a little bit more fruit, I felt so much better. And they did too. Lillian Kane, the YouTuber, and Dr. Paul Saladino, when they added fruit and honey, they felt way better. They were just like, ooh, this is a good mixture of food, like eating the rudimentary meat and the fruit a lot more than they were used to before. Like they probably eat 50 grams to 80 grams of sugar a day, but they also strength train. Granted, you guys, granted. And so do I. And so, I would look into both of their testimonials online about how the carnivore diet benefited them and how they tweaked some things here and there in their own diet. And again, even them are not downgrading the carnivore diet. They are not bashing it. They actually still love it. And they even go back to it when they need to. If something is going on, like if they're sick, they go back to that. So that's something to think about. If you're doing the carnivore diet, if this was helpful, please leave a comment down below. If you have any testimonial of your own or any questions, please leave a comment down below. And I would love to hear your thoughts about this because I feel like this is a very much nuanced conversation and a lot of people in the carnivore community don't really talk about it. Just like in the vegan community that I was in, they don't want to talk about things that are uncomfortable, that may sway someone to see the plant-based movement as not the best route to go, and that's with all movements going on in the world, right? Like political, philosophical, everyone wants to stick to the way of what they think is right. But I've learned in life, it's just so nuanced and life changes. People's bodies change. And, who would have thought I would be eating meat like almost at every meal? I wasn't like that as a kid. I didn't have an issue before, but as I grew up and became an adult, I lived life and I made wrong choices that affected my body that made me come to the carnivore lifestyle. So with that being said, guys, I hope this was helpful and I hope you have an amazing day and God bless you. Bye.